for questions, which is great. And Jay is welcome to call on whoever he likes, of course. I would just ask that you speak loudly and keep your questions brief.
What can Buddhism contribute to science?
我觉得，佛教呢，实际上它是一个心灵的科学，它叫做人智科学。因为我们的很多的这个科学研究呢，就是着重是在物质上面，或者说是在外在的一些事物方面。内心的这个研究呢，在科学不管是从仪器上、研究上，还是有点缺少。所以我们人呢，都需要这个内心科学和外面的物质科学都需要的。因此，在佛教就是觉得是可以在研究心理的科学方面有很大的贡献。
So I think because Buddhism, there are a lot about our mind and cognition, but for science, we emphasize a lot on materials and the outside world. But for human beings, we need both. So I think the mind and cognition part, Buddhism can contribute a lot.
I have a question regarding the fact that Jinme Punsa Rinpoche was such a great scholar, but also such a great revered Buddhist master in terms of practice as well. And my question is, did he, in his lifetime, make any kind of distinction between those two?
其实，如果从分开讲的话，应该可以的。因为，比如说他从学者的角度讲呢，其实法王如意宝很精通那个移民的辩论，他有很多的这个辩论方面的一些巧诀和知识。再加上呢，就是法王晋美彭措他的著作里面有一个天文学的，那这个天文学呢，就今天我们看那个虚拟世界的里面的很多的。包括有一些这个宇宙和银河系当中的有一些特殊的这个世界的构成啊，就是这方面呢，也是就是研究的非常深的。就所以从他的这个平时的给摄受弟子的时候呢，他在不同的这个领域当中，就是讲不同的这个知识，就是所以从这个方面可以从这个学者角度呢，就也可以有学者的这个研究方式。还有这个腹藏呢，就是它有比较特殊的这个腹藏病吧，就是比较多的，就是包括一些什么这个包切啊，就是海螺啊，就是这些，还有一些法本啊，就是这些，还有从这个修行的成就呢，就是大家都比较可能公认的，就我不用提了。
I think he has some kind of distinction between these two different identities. Because when he accepted or trained different disciples, students, he used his different skills. For scholarly that background, he has very skillful skill in debating. He's very good at debating at Buddhist logic. That's the thing he usually to transmit to those kind of students, and also astronomy. He's very good at that, and also he teaches that. And this morning, I just experienced some virtual reality, and we watched the formation of galaxy and also Mars, so some amazing, fantastic things. And so that's kind of like a more scholarly way for him. And as a treasure revealer, he has revealed the chest, and also conch shells, and also some Dharma books. And for his practice as a accomplisher or great master, I think you already know. So yeah, that part can just better.
上师你好，那个现在这个就是中国这边，就甭管是藏传佛教还是汉传佛教，反正现在这个就从社会层面来讲，做法会啊，做祈福法会啊。从我们这个在家人来看，都是好多的法会做祈福的这些事情比较多。现在目前是那么的状态。我认为您作为佛教的这个领袖级人物，您是否可以在力所能及的范围之内， 把这个大的这个社会目前的对佛教这个趋势的理解能否有所调整和改变？谢谢教师。
So his question was, no matter it's Tibetan Buddhism or Chinese Buddhism, he thinks a lot of Buddhists emphasize more about doing some prayer, like gathering together to do prayer for a lot of things. He thinks that because Khenpo is a religious leader, how can he help to kind of like turn the direction of people's emphasis on Buddhism instead of just doing those rituals?
他说的很对，就实际上我们这个很多的佛教徒呢，就是特别喜欢求观地呢，求祈福啊，就这样的。如果我们在一个场合这个演讲一些佛教的道理的话，不一定人听的。然后一听说就是什么这个观听和祈福的话，那就是大家都来听，就是这是大多数的一个心中的这种爱好。但是我们呢，多年以来也是不单是就要求大家就参加这些法会也重要，但更重要的，从系统的这个闻思修习，一定要认识到这个如果是佛教徒的话，佛教的教理就是它的道次第就必须要人去清楚。如果不清楚的话呢，展示的我们的一个干性的这种信仰呢，实际上是在随时都可以变化的。就所以我们一般强调呢，就是佛教徒都是在这个就非常长期的这个牢固的闻思和学习和这样的机制下呢，就是在参加一些法会啊，就这样是比较合理的。所以我个人而言的话，那就是关于在这方面，应该30多年以来一直很努力，就是在某种地方的话呢，就是还是起到了一些作用。但有些地方的话，可能还要这两个相结合，就是作为佛教徒，并不是完全是一切都是用学术研究的方式来处理，但是呢。也不是完全是用一种自己比较迷信的或者冲动的，或者是一些这样的话呢，就是有些行为不一定很如法的，就所以我们可能要相结合。
I think what he pointed out is really, really good because nowadays I know a lot of Buddhists really just emphasize a lot on prayer and also empowerment, just receiving empowerment. Those kind of things. I think it's a trend for a lot of Buddhists. And when you say it's going to be a Buddhist teaching on just the theories, then nobody wants to come. But if you say, oh, this one is going to have empowerment, then everybody comes. I think what I have done in this past 30 years, I am making efforts on the direction to emphasize systematic listening, studying, and meditation. That's what I am doing and have been doing for 30 years. And I think for Buddhists, Buddhists must have make efforts to study, to learn the stages of their practice. Otherwise, their faith is going to be changed and they may just give up what they're doing. And the study has to be long-term and steadfast. So I think I am making efforts on that direction. And also I think we should combine these two sides, theoretical study and also do prayer and have real practice. And also I think it's not good to just believe in Buddhism blindly. You have to use your intelligence, your wisdom to analyze that and then accept that.
I think we have time for maybe one more question.
I'd like to ask, what is the most important thing that you learned from Buddhism?
最重要的，我自己认为是大圆满。
I think the most important thing I learned from him is the great perfection.
Okay, that was short. Maybe we'll.
So, Rinpoche, now that the Buddha Dharma has come to the West, Western students have a dilemma sometimes. We try to have right view and we try to have right action, but lineage and the guru is important. How do Western students who are in the United States or maybe Western Europe connect with lineage, connect with devotion?
这样的，确实有时候 东方的跟这个西方的思维方式完全不同，差别很大。就我们东方的有些这个观念跟西方的这个观念呢，我就非常明白。比如说，我今天上午去看那个虚拟世界，虚拟世界的时候，那个老师问我，这个你就为什么看？我说是出发是如梦如幻的，动到我。最后那个有另外一个教授，就是他说我是不可能的，我们西方不承认的。对东方来讲是一说我的话呢，大家都很接受的一个。同样的道理，你刚才讲的这个很重要的，像我们东方的大乘佛教和密法的话呢，建立在一个心性和政治正念上面，就是很重要的。但我想作为西方的话呢，也许这个传承，如果你要想借的话呢，心性还是很重要的。因为有了心性的话呢，你会可能就是非常重视这个法，这个上师。如果你对他没有信心，把他看着一个普通的人，看着一个普通的这个知识的话呢，也许你的突入和你的这种这个追求的信呢，就是不会那么强烈的。所以，不管是东方人、西方人，我觉得作为一个佛教这个信仰者呢，他的这个虔诚的这种信心，就是确实很重要的。有了我们一个著名的，我听说你们各大也在讲那个大圆满这个虔信里面，刚才那个老师也在说，大圆满虔信里面是有上等的信心呢，有上等的这个就是获得，中等的信心呢有中等的获得，有下等的信心呢就有下等的获得。如果没有一点信心呢，什么都得不到。就是所以不管是东西方的什么样的人，这个他的这个信心呢，我觉得是在修行过程当中是不可缺少的，而且至关重要。
Okay, so I think as you said, it is a great problem or a great question, and I also observed that there are big difference between the East and the West. Because like this morning when I went to watch this virtual reality, the professor asked me why am I so curious, why am I wanted to watch this virtual reality. I told them because in Buddhism we say everything is like illusion, so there is no self. But the professor told me that in the West it's the opposite. We cannot accept that there is no self, there is no ego. So that's something I also noticed. So back to your question, I think devotion and the right view, both of them are very important. Because if you have the devotion, then you will place great importance on the Dharma. You will not treat it as an ordinary thing, and you will not treat your guru or your teacher as an ordinary person, and you will not treat the Dharma as an ordinary knowledge. But if you don't, when you do not have enough devotion, when your devotion is not strong enough, then you will make less effort on your study. So I think any believers need their devotion. As I just heard that also in University of Chicago, you also have the teaching on the words of my perfect teacher. In that book, we learned that if you have the superior devotion, then you will gain the most. And if you have just the middling devotion, then you will just get moderate gain. And if your devotion is inferior, then you will just get a little bit something from that, benefit from that. If you don't have devotion at all, then you will get nothing. So that's something I think shows devotion is very important, it's indispensable.
I think that is a great question and a great answer to end this talk about Rinpoche's own relationship with his teacher and the life of his teacher, Khenpo Rinpoche Rinpoche. And something important that I forgot to mention in the beginning, but luckily have the chance to say now, is that on behalf of the University of Chicago Buddhist Studies Club, as well as the UChicago Buddhist Association, we're so glad, and with a grant, partial grant from student government, thank you so much. We're so glad that Rinpoche was able to come and give this talk today. So let us all thank him.